I see you gather before me. Hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast. Emperor Emir has marched his legions into our lands, laid siege to every fortress from here to the Blue Mountains. Rabid and ravenous, he bites and bites away. Men of the North, you stand at the precipice. Your kings have failed you, so now you turn to the gods. And yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with ash. Instead you wail, why have the gods forsaken us? We must look into the trials we failed long ago. In a time past, our world intertwined with another through an upheaval scholars call the conjunction of the spheres. The gods allowed unholy forces to slip into our domain. The offspring of that cataclysm was the nefarious force called magic. Yet we did not banish it, instead studying the vile arcane for our own power and wealth. And the monsters at our door, the unholy relics of this conjunction, the trolls, the corpse-eaters, the werewolves, did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. Stray children taught the ways of foul sorcery, their bodies mutated through blasphemous ritual. Sanctified monsters, though they could not distinguish good from evil. The flicker of humanity, long extinguished within them. Yes, their numbers have dwindled through the years, but a few still roam our lands, offering their bloody work for coin. To this day they shame us with their very existence. The North bleeds, flogged by war. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. The Dark Raiders abduct our children into lands unknown. Some say they herald a second conjunction. Can we chart a course back into the light? Will we find the strength to banish the mages from our kingdoms? Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
Welcome in, my friends, to a playthrough of The Witcher 3. Not just any playthrough. This is what I would consider to be a hardcore playthrough, with no HUD and other quality of life features turned off. We'll be manually drawing swords, manually applying oils. There's no fast travel. We'll be playing on Death March, of course, so managing our vitality, especially without seeing our health, will be a constant battle. We'll be reading everything, town notices to letters, books, beastiary, character entries, soaking up every bit of lore that this game has, trying to immerse ourselves. It's going to take a lot of persistence to push through this game, especially on this difficulty. We're going to have to check our map more often than usual to plan out our routes. But I think it's an experience worth having. Even though I've flirted with content creation for quite a while, and I have a capable PC, I've had nothing but trouble in OBS. And the fact that I play on an ultra-wide, it creates different conflicts and challenges. But if I wait for all of this to be perfect in terms of quality, commentary, or gameplay, then I'm just never going to do it. And I want to do it. So we're not going to let that stand in our way. It's time. I'm ready to dive into this playthrough and see how far we can make it. This isn't 100% playthrough. We're not trying to platinum or get 100% achievements, but it's going to act that way most of the time. We're doing all contracts, all missions. There will be commentary, of course, but I'm also not afraid to leave long, open gaps where I'm saying nothing and letting the game speak for itself. It's probably the main reason why you guys are here. I think with that being said, we can dive in and get started.
You know I don't find that amusing.
It wasn't meant to amuse, but to prod you to hurry. It's midday already. You promised Ciri you'd train with her. Go before Vesemir bores her to death with those etchings.
So, later then.
See you later.
There's something comforting about being in Kaer Morhen.
Got any clothes that aren't black or white?
Undergarments.
Nothing but silver.
Gold clashes with my complexion. You should know that.
You're running out of juice.
I know. You might bring me some more once you're done training.
And then, of course, to take a look outside.
Shit. Mountain Pass is beautiful as ever.
One of the best intros to any game ever. Love seeing the dishes out here. Just imagining Geralt and Yennefer enjoying some spirits early in the morning. The finer things in life. And there's Ciri training. It's the last time we'll see this for a long time, until we're back at Kaer Morhen. We better go check out what Vesemir's doing.
Old Witcher's fast asleep. Ciri's disappeared somewhere, of course. Guess she prefers practice to theory.
What?
Time to wake up, Master. These lessons so boring they put you to sleep too?
Damn it. After taking notes on ghouls and owl ghouls, wanted to rest my eyes a bit.
Making her slog through that brick? No wonder she took off.
John of Bruges lacks flair, true, but he's reliable. Not like the hogwash they print nowadays. She's tackling the pendulums, right? How many times do I have to tell her? Don't train alone. It only embeds your errors. Bring our young damsel to the lower courtyard. She wants to practice, she'll get to practice.
Don't get mad at her.
Why the hell not? The whippersnapper refuses to do as she's told.
You like that about her.
Fine. I suppose I'm partly to blame. But this has to end. Now. Killing monsters is not something to be taken lightly. Ciri must understand that, if she's to become one of us. I'll see you below.
Wrong. Now I see why you were so eager to practice. Strike. You're not in a circus. Pirouette. Wrong. Footwork. Enough. Get down.
With a flip?
What do you think? All right. Take off the blindfold. You've got work to do. Your reflexes are still slow.
Maybe for a witcher.
Think drowners or striggers will go easy on you because you haven't undergone the mutations? Though in your shoes, I'd fear Vesemir more than any strigger. Disobeying his instructions? Unwise.
Well, yes, but that book was horribly dull.
I know, and you know that's no excuse.
I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Better not. Vesemir said if it does, he'll make you eat a bowl of slugs covered in salt.
You!
Exactly. So you'd best behave. Come on, we'll practice with the others down below.
Shall we run the walls?
Not this time. Believe me, you don't want to keep Vesemir waiting.
Anything to say for yourself, young lady?
I'm very sorry, Uncle Vesemir.
Young blood craves action, I understand that. But when you fight a beast, knowledge counts as much as your silver sword. At the very least, you ought to be able to tell a ghoul from an owl ghoul.
By markings, like unto the Panthera tigris that in Zerrikania dwells, and by the sickly paleness of its visage.
So you did read the chapter. Still, you should have asked if...
But you were asleep, Uncle Vesemir.
Don't try to weasel your way out of this.
A witcher must know how to trick his opponent. You said so yourself.
Might have. But don't use my words of wisdom on Vesemir, got it? That's playing with fire.
Fine, we've talked enough. Geralt, you're with me, Lambert with Eskel, Ciri with the dummy.
Again?
Stop groaning and grab a sword. What do you think? Should we start by reviewing the fundamentals or go right to free training?
Let's skip straight to free training. No point going over the basics again.
Whoa! You really showed him, kid.
Ciri, get down here.
A little she-devil. Soon as she's back, we'll set her to polishing all the swords at Kaer Morhen.
Find that helmet? Ciri? I'll make sure to find every last blade for you. What the? Vesemir.
I've long awaited this, and you, White Wolf.
No! You all right?
Had a nightmare.
About?
Take forever to explain.
Dawn's some way off. We've got time.
Started in the guest room at Kaer Morhen. I was relaxing in the tub, and next to me,
Triss?
Yennefer. Funny, isn't it? She's never been there. Seemed so real in my dream, though.
Was she nagging you about something? True to life, indeed. We'll find her.
I know we will. That's not what worries me. You've seen her tracks. She's at full gallop all the time. Breakneck speed through wild lands, devastated battlefields. She's in a hurry to get somewhere. Or fleeing something. Either way, it means trouble of some sort.
Be surprised if she wasn't in trouble. She's always poked her nose in beehives. Courtly intrigues here, mages' conspiracies there. What do you expect?
Don't know. Guess I thought once we were finally reunited, things would be calm. At least for a while.
Calm? With Yennefer? Good luck.
In the dream, I went and found Ciri. Then we trained.
Those were the days. Little she-devil. I've trained kids who were faster, stronger, but none had her character. Didn't end well, did it? Your dream?
No. A wild hunt appeared, attacked Ciri. I couldn't move, stood there like a stump.
It was just a dream.
That's the problem. It was more. In the past, when Ciri'd appear in my dreams, something was wrong. She was in danger.
We taught her how to defend herself from anything, wraiths included.
Be dawning soon. Time to go.
Wait. Show me the letter from Yennefer. Might have overlooked some hint in there.
Didn't overlook anything. We were meant to meet in Willoughby. That's what she wrote. Meanwhile, one army or another burned the village to the ground. All we can do is follow her trail, so...
Stop talking for a minute and give me the letter. Oh, how about that? It does smell of lilac and gooseberries.
You were gonna read it, not sniff it.
We must meet. Soon. Willoughby near Vizima. Nothing else to guide us there. What's this postscript? I still have the unicorn?
Stuffed unicorn. Used it once or twice. In certain... situations.
The things young folk get up to these days.
Back on topic. How's it look? How far behind Yennefer are we?
2 or 3 days. Trail's fresh. But it looks like it leads towards the main road. Could be muddled there. Wait, hear that?
I hear it. I smell it. Ghouls.
Damn it!
Come on!
on. When armies pass, necrophages follow. Let's go before any more show up.
Bird skull in black
Pick up the crystal skull, of course.
Why do I
Sorry
think this
about
is
that.
Yen's?
And these are valuable crafting resources. Make sure that we get the ghoul remains.
Ever tell you about this sorcerer I knew? Couldn't stop talking about how useful they are as creatures.
Because you can brew potions from their blood?
No, because by eating rotting corpses, they prevent epidemics.
Did he know they eat the living as well?
No, really upset him too. His theory collapsed. Slow now.
Sorry about that. My dog jumped on my lap.
War's not exactly going our way.
We have a side.
The Northern Realms.
Radovid's realms, don't you mean? Temeria and Edirn are no more.
Radovid's pledged to restore the old borders as soon as he wins the war.
Believe that?
Gotta believe something. It's what keeps us going.
Whoa there, Roach.
Just taking in the horrors that have happened to this village.
We going? Help me! Help!
Has it gone?
Yeah. Come out.
Gods, that was close. I was sure I'd end up like my mare.
Provided you got lucky.
Your horse died quickly, but griffins like to toy with their prey. Eat it, alive, piece by piece.
Oh. You'd like a reward, I suppose.
You don't owe us anything. You were in need. We helped.
And they call witches heartless. Say they won't lift a finger without pay.
They also say mice are born of rotting straw. Back to the trail?
Like I said, leads to the main road and ends there, muddled.
You seek someone?
Yes, a woman. Medium height, long black hair. Seen anyone like that?
No. But there's an inn here in White Orchard. Sole one around. Gets its share of travelers. Perhaps you'll learn something there? Besides, the innkeep's my cousin. Tell her Bram sent you. She'll treat you like family.
Not a bad idea. Especially since that wound needs cleaning.
beast barely grazed me. But sure, could use a good rye. Nice and cool, you know, straight from a cellar.
Let's go.
Let's go!
So, a griffin this close to the village? Strange.
My thoughts exactly. In a forest or the mountains, sure, but here? Near the main road.
Maybe it's the war. Corpses everywhere, the stench of blood, burnt flesh. Drives monsters crazy sometimes.
Men, too. We need to watch ourselves in White Orchard. And we should leave as soon as we learn anything.
Me gran told me about the Smith's boy. Lad went missing one day, so folk nabbed a witchman that was hunting nearby and started poking him, asking.
I should probably put H in the right place up here.
Oh, so it were. Except it was some drowner that had sat on.
Not so fast, Roach.
What did the folk do? They could have sewed his head back on. Word is, they laid his...
What?
Take that down before there's trouble.
That is a coat of arms, the Temerian lilies. They've a right to hang there.
This ain't Temeria no more, old man. It's Nilfgaard now.
My arse it is.
Witches?
I'll not drink with Weaverlaw's freaks.
Beg your pardon for those thugs.
No need. We're used to it.
Folk are jumpy round here. Armies just passed through. Now a griffin's prowling about.
Already had the pleasure. Ran into your kinsman, Bram.
Bram? How is he?
Alive. Sends his regards.
Master Witches. Food and drink on the house. What can I get you?
Pretty busy place you got.
Nations on the move. Some search for kin, others just want to get out of the way of the armies. They all need food, drink, and a night's rest in warmth.
So, war's been good for your trade?
Aye, so far. But it'd be best to know peace again. Times like these, you never know what tomorrow will bring.
There a contract on that griffin?
Nay, not at the moment. Used to be. Soon as a beast had built a nest nearby, the alderman would start a collection, or go to the Lord for help. Now the aldermen don't use the privy without asking the Black One's permission first. And seems they hanged the Lord. So no contract.
Shame. We might have done something, but not for free.
Show
Let's
me what
have a
you
look.
got behind the counter.
Now, there are Gwent cards, which I think we'll buy right away. I should have taken a closer look, but there was a decoy, a catapult. This is ranged unit and full test leader. Some of these spirits are pretty valuable, particularly Redanian Red, maybe, Mandrake Cordial, Cherry Cordial, maybe these ones. But it's early for that. We won't worry about it. Let's have a quick look at our inventory. This crystal skull, it's a really cool little Easter egg. How about the letter? Well, we can't read it while we're at the shop here. We do have tawny oil. So we just wanted to shop for a
Looking
minute. We
for a
got
woman,
work cards.
raven-haired, violet eyes, dresses in black and white, riding in from Willoughby. And, strange as it sounds, lilac and gooseberries might have smelled that.
I've not seen nor smelt such a lady. Believe I'd remember.
Yeah, especially hard to forget this one.
Plenty of travellers about, though. Folk from all over. Might be worth your while to ask after her.
Thanks for everything. Help you bandage that up?
Please. I'm not decrepit yet.
Then I'll ask about Yennefer.
Mm-hmm. Just remember, we'd rather not draw any attention.
Black One's been out measuring the fields.
Let him measure. Better that than burning the harvest.
We should check our
Come on, you're done with
inventory,
it.
our journals, all of that stuff. So we do have tawny oil. We're going to keep oils in slot 2 and 4, I think. Read this letter. Yennefer's letter. Dear friend, forgive me for not asking about your health or how you've been these last years. Time is very short. I have important news. We must meet, and soon. Ride to Willoughby near Vizima, and don't spare the horses. While I do eagerly await our reunion, I won't be able to wait eagerly or otherwise very long. Your dear friend, Yennefer. Yes, I still have the unicorn. I think there is something that comes of this, calling him dear friend. It's a little impersonal. Why is there a star here? I'm not sure. Okay, there we got them all. We may as well put a torch in our pocket. I love the starting armor, the Karamoran armor. Unfortunately, it doesn't really keep up stat-wise once we get going very much. Pretty brutal. The steel sword, especially the amount of damage early on, but have a quick look at them. Okay, so aside from our inventory, we have no skill points yet. We've got our main contract, finding Yennefer. Collect them all, which of course is Gwent. And let's read Lilac and Gooseberries. Yennefer had contacted Geralt, finally. They had not seen each other in years, and then she'd sent him a letter, smelling of lilac and gooseberries, of course, asking him to meet her in a village of Willoughby. About a matter of great importance, she had written. So as was his wont when it came to all things Yennefer, the Witcher raced off at breakneck speed. Alas, he arrived too late. Passing armies had razed Willoughby to the ground. Yennefer was nowhere in sight. With the help of Vesemir, whom Geralt had encountered along the way, Geralt picked up her trail, which the two Witchers then followed. Yen had ridden north, traversing wild lands and battlefields at great speed. She was in a hurry. Perhaps she was in trouble. Okay. Look at our map. See White Orchard for the first time. We've got a few fast travel points that we came through on the way. So we started somewhere up here. We crossed the crossroads. There's a battlefield somewhere up here. And then that devastated, ransacked village we came through. Across over the ford to the Wosan Bridge. There's a Nilfgaard garrison up this way that we're going to end up seeing in a graveyard here with a powerful specter we're not ready to face yet. We won't be able to do anything in alchemy just yet. But we'll need to be on the lookout for some of these ingredients, perhaps when we finally meet the herbalist. And these oils can really come in handy. We'll have to get ourselves some bear fat and dog tallow, as well as picking up different herbs. We won't be able to, well, I guess we can see the herbs, but fortunately, I think we can identify most of them ourselves. Okay, we already read Yennefer's letter. We've got quite a few characters to catch up on. Let's read about them. Cyrilla Fiona Elen Rhiannon. What can I possibly say about her? That we call her Ciri for short. That she was born in 1251. That she has ashen hair and a scar on her cheek. All true. And that's the Cyrilla I know best. The one I first laid eyes upon those many years ago. The one who seemed thoroughly, well, not ordinary, but certainly not extraordinary as she in fact is. For Cyrilla is also a highly skilled witcher, heiress to several thrones, the last bearer of the Elder Blood, powerful source endowed with exceptional magic talent, and the Lady of Time and Space. Her hair color and date of birth seem rather incidental now, don't they? I could also tell you that she is Geralt's adopted daughter, but that would be a gross simplification. Ciri is much more. She is his destiny, his unexpected child, someone bound to the Witcher by fate's most inextricably tangled fetters. Following age-old Witcher tradition, Geralt took Ciri to Kaer Morhen when she came into his care. There, he and Vesemir taught her in the ways of the professional monster slayer. It was then that her magic talents were first revealed, and they discovered she was a source. Ciri's gift proved a curse as well. Because of it, she would one day have to hide from the entire world, even Geralt. It's great to get the full context of her, as she is such a pivotal character in all of this. Dandelion. I would wager anyone that you, dear reader, are a person of culture and taste, and therefore are already familiar with me, Dandelion, and the role I am to play in the following tale. Nevertheless, allow me to sketch a few lines by way of self-portrait, for the sake of thoroughness, and in the event you have spent much of the last century in some dark corner where the light of my star has yet to reach. Born in 1229, a talented poet and troubadour, graduate of Oxenford Academy, a frequent performer at royal courts, an unequaled lover appreciated, and in some cases adored by ladies worldwide, a skilled negotiator and a stirring orator. Such is the image of the bard Dandelion as painted by his friends and promoters. This image is, of course, somewhat overbright in its coloring. I personally prefer to think of myself as a dedicated artist enthralled to his muse, one whose work has benefited immeasurably from the fact that I was, am, and forever will remain a close friend and steadfast companion to the Witcher Geralt. It is his fate I chronicle in this present work, and his story which I shall sing to the end of my days. Eskel. All Witchers have a great deal in common, but with Eskel and Geralt, the similarities are particularly striking. They first met as two boys of the same age swinging wooden swords at Kaer Morhen. They then went through an ordeal together. The first round of selections, the murderous changes, the trial of the grasses, and training on the gauntlet. The Witcher's daunting obstacle course. They also received hidings together for more than one act of childish delinquency. When they became adults, they walked the path separately, but still reconvened at Kaer Morhen nearly every winter to wait out the cold, drink to their successes, and remember fallen comrades. Though Eskel never gained Geralt's renown, he equaled the White Wolf in experience and carried out his contracts with care and efficiency. Death had almost taken him many times during his hunts, yet in an ironic twist, the hideous scar on his face came not from a monster's claw, but from the blade of Daedra Edemain, his highly unpredictable, unexpected child. I don't remember reading that, actually. I didn't know that was the origin of his scar. Geralt of Rivia. Many cannot fathom the friendship Geralt of Rivia and I, Dandelion, have shared all these years. When we first began breaking bread together, spiteful tongues said he'd be better off cutting my throat and dumping my body in a hollow tree, before I provoked someone else into doing the same to us both. Those individuals spoke out of pure jealousy, for Geralt was my dearest friend, a fact which he gave ample evidence on numerous occasions. I could say a great deal about that world-famous monster hunter, the man known in Elder speech as Gwenblade, or, in our younger, yet no less noble tongue, as the White Wolf. For Geralt of Rivia is a truly exceptional individual. A brief encounter might tempt one to label him a mere swinger of swords, a simple monster catcher, a rough and tumble practitioner of a dirty trade. But peer closer, and you will soon discover he is a man of unplumbed depths, unique views, and vast world-spanning experience. On the surface, he is introverted, tight-lipped, one might even say gruff, but underneath lies an overflowing sea of goodwill, good humor, and an honest readiness to help his friends, be it with a bit of sound advice or the masterful application of his blade. Setting aside cumbersome false modesty, I can say that I know his story better than any man alive. I was with him through hard times and good, helping with wise advice, warm words, and razor wit. As a result, I am a vital part of his story, both in its earlier and present portions. It is thus my duty to continue my chronicle and, for the benefit of future generations, put in writing the next chapter of his deeds and exploits. Lambert, the youngest among the Witchers of Kaer Morhen, perhaps the last ever trained within its walls. By the start of our tale, Lambert had proven his chops many times over, having hunted down many a mighty beast and traversed nearly all the continent's realms several times over. Yet he had also developed a reputation for arrogance and sardonic humor, and his gruff and at times excessively blunt manner could irritate even his fellow Witchers of the School of the Wolf. Whatever his vices, it went without saying that Lambert would brave the fires of any hell for his companions. Vesemir. Vesemir was the oldest living member of the Wolf School and most likely the oldest Witcher of any school on the continent. About as long in years as the ruins of Kaer Morhen themselves, and though eternally complaining about his creaky bones, this master of the Witcher trade gave no thought to a well-deserved retirement. Gray, but still spry, he continued to ply the monster hunting trade into his golden years. Effectively, too, as he'd seen more beasts than all of his students put together. A harsh and demanding instructor in Geralt's youth, over the years he had become something of an adoptive father and mentor to the other Witchers, always ready to help with sage advice and steady hands. In the spring of 1272, when our story begins, Vesemir had joined Geralt on his search for Yennefer, trekking with him through war-ravaged Temeria. And the brilliant Yennefer of Vengerberg. The Witcher first met the raven-haired sorceress a good 20 years back. Their friendship and the feelings between them were born of a common adventure involving a genie and a wish granted to Geralt that intertwined their fates inextricably. In the time since their relationship had, however, been quite stormy. Rich in ups and downs, crises and breakups. Geralt and Yennefer's love provides irrefutable proof of the thesis that opposites attract. A few years ago, Geralt and Yennefer had, after a long separation full of adventures for them both, gotten back together again. Their moment of repose was interrupted by the wild hunt, which took Yennefer captive. The Witcher set out at once to save her, but lost his memory while doing so. When he had finally recovered it, he immediately set off once more on his quest to find his beloved sorceress. That was a good long read, but it sets the stage. We really need to know these characters, and we want the fullness of their backstories. It'll make us appreciate cutscenes more and the tensions and stuff between them. In the tutorial, we're not worried about actually any of this stuff. We're not going to click through and make sure those are all selected. But the beastiary, we will read. We've only got a couple entries so far. Starting with the ghouls. Ghouls creep and crawl at night, eating everything in sight. In a snap, they'd eat you too, chop you up for a ghoulish stew. And it's a children's rhyme. Ghouls and graveyears are hard to describe. In part, they resemble humans, yet on the whole, they are the utter negation of all that is human. Though they have arms and legs like men, they walk on all fours like dogs or badgers. Though they have eerily familiar faces, one searches them in vain for any sign of sentiment, reason, or even a spark of consciousness. They are driven by one thing and one thing only: an insatiable craving for human flesh. And they talk about how they show up after battles, and wherever there are corpses, they are corpse eaters, necrophages. The only vulnerability, or the only highlight that we currently show, is necrophage oil. Griffins. Aye. Half eagle, half tomcat, just like on the Lord's crest. Except this one was carrying me dead cow instead of a scepter. A griffin attack witness, name unknown. Some type of farmer, I suppose. Griffins were once only found high in the mountains, where they would hunt marmots and wild goats. When humans encroached on their lands, however, griffins soon discovered a new source of much more plentiful and easier caught prey: cows, sheep, and shepherds. Though still wary of main roads and towns, where folk with the means to hire a witcher like to dwell, these half-eagle, half-wildcat creatures have gone from rarities to oft-encountered pests known throughout the northern realms. Especially hated are the subspecies known as royal griffins and arch griffins. You have a few different vulnerabilities. We've got grape shot, hybrid oil, and ard to help ground them. Okay, that's the extent of our glossary.
Why are they
our
marking out them
inventory,
lines, eh?
all of
Passing
it.
out their patrimony.
And that is where we're going to leave it for episode 1. I don't want to let these go on for too long. But it's great to be underway to set off on the trail. For any of you that are still here, love if you join me in the next one and see where this journey takes us. Take care.